إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد. طيب يا إخوة, just go do Q&A inshallah, just revise. Shaykh al-Islam said فهذا اعتقاد الفرقة الناجية منصورة إلى قيام الساعة. This is the belief of the saved sect, helped, aided until the last hour. Why did not Shaykh al-Islam say this is the belief of the Muslims? Why does he have to mention all that lengthy word? Did you hear the talk last week? Did you hear it? Okay. Why did Shaykh al-Islam, Akbar was here, so why did he have to mention all that and not just the belief of the Muslims?
Other sects have different Aqeedah, so the saved sect is the one that Rasulullah said is the one that holds on to the Sunnah.
Yeah. So we have to understand that why Shaykh al-Islam mentioned this. He described saved sects, helped, aided. Why? Because you have other groups, okay, with different beliefs, but he had to make tamīz, specify this Aqeedah belong to this group we are talking about. Firqatu Najiyah Mansura. That's why he said it's very important. It's not just it's not a belief of Muslims. No, it's not. Muslims divided into 73 groups, 72 in the hell. This is the Aqeedah of the Firqatu Najiyah. Okay? It's not Aqeedah of the Khawarij, Aqeedah of the Mu'tazila. It's not Aqeedah of Murji'ah. No, they are Muslims, but it's not Aqeedah of them. Aqeedah Ahlul Sunnah. طيب. You understand that? Why they call Firqatul Najiyah, saved sects? Why they call saved this group? Why are they saved? From what?
Saved from the fire.
Saved from the fire. What else?
The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ mentioned that all the other groups are going to be in the fire except for that group, and it's because they follow the way of the Prophet and the Sahaba.
Okay, so they saved and they Mansur, they aided, they supported. This Qiyam al-Sa'a, the last hour, do you know we're talking about last hour where? Till when? Until the last hour. So which hour we're talking about? From your reading, yeah. Day of Judgment, yeah, specifically. Go on.
The major signs?
No.
Is it talking about the hadith that says, حَتَّى يَأْتِي أَمْرُ اللَّهِ?
Okay. Anything, Akbar?
What was the question?
It's until Qiyam al-Sa'a, until the last hour established. So which hour are we talking about? The hadith, we mentioned it. Until, in Sahih Muslim. Shwan, do you know? Until this Aqeedah, this safe sex group will remain victorious until the last hour, is when there is no one on the earth will say, Allah, Allah, Allah. And the Prophet said, the last hour will establish on those Shirarun Nas, the worst of the creation. They are Muslims. Okay? There will be no Muslim on the earth at that time. No one will be saying Allah, Allah, Allah. طيب. Then he says Ahlul Sunnati wal Jama'ah, the people of the Sunnah and Jama'ah. So we know Ahlul Sunnah, we covered Jama'ah. Jama'ah, what does Jama'ah, what you listen to it, we didn't even record it. Khalas, Jama'ah, Akbar?
Means group, isn't it?
Group. We mentioned Jama'ah, gone.
Does it refer to those who stay under the obedience of the ruler?
No, not here, no. We mentioned Jama'ah, 5 tafsir, 5 explanation. What was the first one, do you remember?
So was that covered last lesson? Because last level was covering the 7 categories of
We
La ilaha
covered it last week, this one.
illallah. Oh, because I remember covering 7 categories of La ilaha illallah. Yeah.
Well, we covered that as well. We covered it. We covered La ilaha illallah, the condition of La ilaha illallah. We'll go back to that again, inshallah. Jama'ah, we said, the scholars have given tafasir. Sheikh Salih brings the 5. First group Jama'ah is that Sawadul A'adam, the great majority. Okay? And Prophet said, Alaykum bisawadul A'adam, upon you to follow the great majority. That's the Jama'ah. Al-Lalakai mentioned Al-Jama'ah here, Sawadul A'adam. Lalakai, he mentioned in his book, the Jama'ah, the unification of the Muslims are the great majority. We're talking about great majority at the time of the companions, not now. Okay, that's one of the tafsir. And who gave this tafsir? Abu Mas'ud al-Ansari and Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhuma. طيب, that's first tafsir of Jama'ah. The second tafsir of Jama'ah, the ulama says, Ahlul Ilm, the scholars. Allah says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, ati'u Allah wa ati'u Rasul wa ulil amri minkum. All those who believe, obey Allah and the Messenger and those in the authority over you. The scholars. And this is the opinion of Ibn Mubarak and others. Jama'ah. And actually, to be honest with you, in reality, we are unified upon the scholars. Isn't it? Who do we go back to now? We go to the scholars. Isn't it? We نجتمع مع العلماء. We unify ourselves with the ulama. So this is the second, Ibn Mubarak, one of the opinions, he follows that. Third opinion is that Ashab Rasulullah, the companions, they are the Jama'ah. Okay? They are the Jama'ah, no doubt. They are praised in the Quran. We are commanded to follow the way. And this is the opinion of Imam al-Tabari. Imam al-Tabari. No, sorry, Umar bin Abdul Aziz, sorry. Umar bin Abdul Aziz believed that. Jama'ah, third, number 3. Companions. Okay, this is Imam al-Tabari, Umar bin Abdul Aziz, Khalifatul Mu'mineen. The fourth is what Imam al-Tabari says, is that when people unite upon one person and they give bay'ah to him and they follow him. That's Imam al-Tabari. And that's also authentic. Yeah. The last one is, Sheikh mentioned it, the fifth one is, there's no dalil, is the Usbatul Muslim, the group of Muslims, they're Jama'ah. There's nothing there, evidence for that. No Salaf mentioned anything like this. طيب? So these are the Jama'ah scholars have mentioned. Now we say Ahlul Sunnati wal Jama'ah. We mentioned Ahlul Sunnati wal Jama'ah. Do you remember, Akbar, we said the two reasons why we call somebody Ahlul Sunnati wal Jama'ah. Do you remember the first one? The fact whoever opposes Shia, that's from Ahlul Sunnah. That's one of the general principles. Murji'ah, Ash'ara, Maturidi, they are Ahlul Sunnah. Because they oppose Shia. The fact you oppose the Shia, you become Ahlul Sunnah. That's one of the things they say. But the second one is who follow the Ahlul Sunnah, are the people who follow the Quran and the Sunnah and the way of the Salaf. Yeah. طيب. نبدأ إن شاء الله. So we spoke about وهو اعتقاد فرقة الناجية منصورة إلى قيام الساعة أهل السنة والجماعة. This sentence is very important we understand. This is Aqeedah of the same-sex aided, okay, Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. These are adjectives describing this belief of this group. طيب? And then he says, Shaykh al-Islam says, what is this i'tiqad, the belief? وهو إيمان بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله والبعث بعد الموت والإيمان بالقدر خير وشر. And this وهو refers to i'tiqad. And this i'tiqad is to believe in Allah, to believe in His angels, to believe His books, to believe His messengers, to believe the day of resurrection after death, to believe the qadr, good and the bad. So these are 6 pillars of Iman. Now these 6 pillars of Iman is basically, we all know that it's taken from the hadith of Umar al-Khattab when Jibril came and he asked Prophet ﷺ several questions. One of them was أخبرني عن الإيمان قال الإيمان هو أن تؤمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله واليوم الآخر والقدر والإيمان بالقدر خير وشر. That to believe Allah, His angels, the books, the Prophet, the Day of Judgment, and to believe in the qadr, good and bad. That's the hadith of Umar. That's one of the evidence. So we have evidence for the 6 pillars of Iman. It's not that we're making it up. We are following the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. The pillar of Iman is 6. طيب. Also it's taken from the hadith, from the ayah of the Quran, when Allah said, ليس البر أن تولوا وجوهكم من قبل المشرق والمغرب ولكن البر من آمن بالله واليوم الآخر والملائكة والكتاب والنبيين. That ليس البر, the righteousness is not that you turn your face toward the east or west, but the bir is to believe in Allah, the last day, the angel, the books, and the prophets. Okay, angel, books, and the prophets. Okay, the word bir here, the ulama have said, Imam al-Sa'di, he described what bir is. He said, al-bir هو اسم جامع لكل ما يحب الله ويرضاه من الأقوال والأعمال ظاهرا وباطنا. That bir, righteousness, is everything encompasses that Allah is happy and pleased with. Statement or action, apparent or hidden. Same to what ibadah was explained by Ibn Taymiyyah. So bir, that's what bir is. And bir, Allah Azza wa Jal, the evidence teaches us the bir that relates to something, the internal and external. So here, Allah described the bir to be the belief of the heart. Belief of the heart is part of bir. But we have a hadith to say and ayah to say bir also part of action of the limbs as well. So anything good, anything khair, anything Allah loves and pleased with is known as bir. Salah, zakat, hajj, jihad, helping people. These are part of bir. Okay. Also part of bir to have iman. It's the 6 pillars of iman we have. That's part of bir as well. Now, in this ayah, the qadr is mentioned. Another verse. Inna kulla shay'in khalaqnahu biqadr. That everything, indeed, we created everything with qadr. Okay, we're going to explain all of them in detail, inshallah. So we just mentioned the dalil for these 6 pillars of iman. So we have evidence from Quran and the Sunnah that iman has 6 pillars. Okay, these are the 6 pillars of iman, and these are the evidences, and there are more evidences. Obviously, we're not going to mention them in one sitting. Tayyib. First of all, al-iman. We're going to discuss linguistically what does the word al-iman mean. The word al-iman is taken from the word amina, ya'man. Amina is it has many meanings. One is to be faithful, loyal, to be protected, to be saved. Amina, ya'man. So, amina ya'manu amnan imanan. Okay? Amn is security and protection, imanan. That's what it means. It's the root word of the verb amina. To be protected, to be saved. Also to have faith as well, part of amina. Amina ya'man. In the hadith, Prophet said, Ala ta'manuni, ana aminu man fis sama. That don't you have trust in me? Prophet said to the companion, don't you trust me, have loyalty in me? I'm the trustworthy one was sent by Allah from the heaven. So amina, okay, to be saved or protected, and amn is extra security, protection. And Allah says in the Quran that الذين آمنوا ولم يلبسوا إيمانهم بظلم أولئك لهم الأمن وهم مهتدون. Allah said that as for those who believe and do not mix their shirk with iman, Allah said they will have amn. This amn here is security and protection, and they'll be guided. From the word iman, from amina, amn. Tayyib. So the ulama says, Ahlul Tawheed, people of Tawheed has amn, security, protection. And they said this protection are 2 types. They say amn mutlaq wa mutlaqul amn. Wa salam. Amn mutlaq is that total protection, complete protection. That means they will enter Jannah without any hisab. Those who advanced in iman and action, they'll enter Jannah without any hisab. Amn mutlaq, amn. Then we have mutlaqul amn, mean partial protection, meaning that the Ahl Tawheed, people of Tawheed, will have security and protection, but they might be punished. They might have to face the adhab of Allah, maybe because they died upon a major sin and they did not make tawbah from it. Subhanallah. But they were free from major shirk. They weren't people of shirk, but they fell into major sin. They did not make tawbah, Allah punishing them. We know Muslims will be punished. So they have partial because half they'll be tortured and half then Allah put them in Jannah. So that word iman is the root word of amina ya'man. So if you think about it, amina, to be protected and secured. If you have the iman, sound in iman, sound belief, that the Prophet came with and accompany you upon, you'll be secured, you'll be protected. If we have the iman and action in ourselves. طيب. So what is iman? What is the word iman? What does iman mean? I will give you some of the definition of iman. Sheikh brings inshallah. So the Ahl Sunnah, when it comes to the definition of iman, Ahl Sunnah in the wasat, and then you have two other groups who deviated in name iman. So we take Murji'ah, for example. Okay, they are Muslims, but their definition of iman completely against the Quran and the Sunnah. طيب, it does not make sense. Shaykh al-Islam rahimahullah, he mentioned that Murji'ah are three types. The first type of Murji'ah is that they're the worst one. They said iman qawlu bil lisan, just to say with the tongue. Okay, that's iman. The ulama mentions as well. Then Shaykh al-Islam said the second type of Murji'ah is that there's iman i'tiqadu bil janan, just to believe in the heart. If you just believe it, khalas, you have iman. Okay. The third is the lesser evil. Salam.
Sorry to disturb you. I want to participate. Do you have this talk weekly?
Yeah.
Okay, every
Tuesday.
Tuesdays. You're a student of Sheikh Muqbil, Rahmah.
Alhamdulillah, I was the Damaj. Yeah.
Okay, you're partnered with brother Uncle Yasin.
Yeah.
Okay, now I remember you. Inshallah, we'll join you next week. I have to go now.
Okay, inshallah. Okay. طيب. Third type of Murji'ah, as Shaykh al-Islam says, are those who says iman i'tiqadu bil janan wa iqraru bil lisan. Okay, or i'tiqadu bil janan wa qawlu bil lisan, that to believe in the heart and to say with the tongue. And this is some of the Ahnaf, they have belief. Abu Hanif had this belief. He believed that, and he fell into irja. Okay, some of the scholars of Sham and Kufa. طيب. So Shaykh al-Islam mentioned Murji are three types. Okay, they say that iman is not affected by the sin. Murji'ah says action is not part of iman. Okay, they take action away from iman, and they said action got nothing to do with iman, and we'll give evidences that how Allah Azza wa Jal combined iman and action together. So they said because action is not part of iman, whatever action you do from sins, major sins, that doesn't have effect in your iman. Doesn't make sense. So a righteous man, okay, who's worshipping Allah, doing all the fara'id, nafila, okay, subhanallah, and the person Muslims, but doing sins, but falling to major sins, and doing other major sins, how can his iman be same as his iman? Doesn't make sense. He fears Allah, he doesn't fear Allah. How can the iman be same? It doesn't make sense. There must be different. For you to commit the act of major sin, I'm not saying minor sins, because minor is the expiation, but salah and other things. But for you to commit major sins, and that person abandon major sins because of fear of Allah, how is your iman same as his iman? Doesn't make sense. Yadu billah. طيب. So Murji'ah says your sins has no effect of iman. It doesn't have effect the iman. So whatever sins you commit, you believe in Allah, you iman, you still have the iman, khalas. It doesn't have any athar of sins in your heart. You're still same. A'udhu billah. That's Murji'ah, one extreme. طيب. What is the other extreme? It's the Khawarij. The Khawarij, they say iman exactly the way we say the iman is. They say exactly the way Ahl Sunnah says, and we'll mention it. They say الإيمان واعتقاد بالجنان وقول باللسان وعمل بالجوارح. They believe, they say iman is statement of the tongue, belief of the heart, action of the limbs. They give exactly the same definition as Ahl Sunnah. But you know the problem with the Khawarij is that they say, okay, this is iman, so therefore if you commit one major sin, you are a kafir. You go out of all of Islam. Okay? So any major sins you commit, you are out of all of Islam, and you die as a kafir. Yawmul Qiyamah, no shafa'ah for you, and you'll be doomed in the hell for eternity. That's the belief of the Khawarij. Okay? But look at what the extreme led them to believe. A murtakibul kabira, kafir. The one who commits major sin is kafir. Okay? Because his whole iman is gone. So once he falls into major sins, khalas, he has no iman. He's been extracted from it. Everything will be taken away from him. But what Ahl Sunnah says, the Shaykh al-Islam will cover this inshallah, he's a fasiq bil kabira. His iman is low, but he has the asl of iman. He still has it. But he's fasiq because of the major sin that is committed. So that's the two extremes. And the Ahl Sunnah says the iman, we're going to just mention some of the definition of iman is that, first of all, Imam Bukhari rahimahullah, he said, I traveled around the world. I met Ahlul Ilm, scholars, and he says, I did not see anyone separate iman from actions. None of them. This is one thing. Because Iblis has iman, but no action. So how are we different from the Iblis? It's the ibadah. Tayyib. So, first of all, we give definition of Imam Ahmed. Imam Ahmed says, Al-Iman wa qawlun wa amalun. Someone might say, where is the action? We say, then ulama says, qawlun wa amalun, qawlun naw'an, amalun naw'an. So statement, action. Statement are two types. Statement of the tongue and statement of the heart. Okay? Statement of the heart is the belief that we have. We covered this, but let's go over it again, revision inshallah. Statement of the heart is the belief that you have in your heart. Believe in Allah, the messenger, the books, all the belief that we have is the statement of the heart. Okay? And statement of the tongue is when you utter La ilaha illallah. Or any ibadah. You read the Quran, you do adhkar. These are worship of the tongue. Now, action of the heart and action of the limbs. Action of the heart is the love of Allah, hope of Allah, fear of Allah, trust in Allah. All these action of the heart. Okay? And action of the limbs, what? Is to salah, zakat, reading Quran, doing adhkar. These are all action of the limbs. So that's what Ahl Sunnah says, and this is what the ulama have explained. Qawlun wa amalun. That's one of the definitions. Some of the ulama says, they elaborate a bit more. They said, Iman huwa qawlu bil lisan, wa i'tiqadu bil janan, wa amalu bil jawarih. That's what they say. Belief in the heart, statement of the tongue, action of the limbs. They also increase yazidu bil ta'a wa yanqud bil ma'asiyah. That it increases with obedience and it decreases with disobedience. And this is the definition you'll find Imam al-Baghawi, Imam Malik, Imam Shafi, Imam al-Qurtubi, all of them, they give that definition of Iman. Tayyib. We also have a definition, Nunat. Nunat, Khamsa Nunat, the 5 nuns. 5 nuns, I want you to memorize, inshallah, if you can. Okay, the 5 noon is that qawlu bil 5 noon because they end with the noon. Okay, he says qawlu bil lisan noon, yeah, i'tiqadu bil janan wal amalu bil arkan noon, yeah, yazid bi ta'ati ar-rahman wa yanqus bi ma'asiyati ar-rahman. Okay, so these are 5 noon. I'tiqadu bil janan, belief in the heart. Janan end with noon. Okay, first qawlu bil lisan and with noon. I'tiqadu bil janan, belief in the heart and with the noon. Amalu bil arkan and with the noon. Action with the limbs. Arkan is the pillars, but that refers to your tongue, your hand, your leg, your body, the pillars. All this. Okay. Yazidu bi ta'ati ar-Rahman, in increasing with the obedience of ar-Rahman with the noon. وَيَنْقُصْ بِمَعْصِيَةِ الرَّحْمَنِ. Okay? And it decreases with the disobedience of Ar-Rahman. مَعْصِيَةِ الرَّحْمَنِ. Yeah. طيب. So, these are some of the definition of Iman given by the Ahl Sunnah. طيب. So, action is part of Iman. And action and Iman cannot be separated. They go hand in hand. So this is the definition, and this is the ittifaq al-ulama of Ahl Sunnah, that action is part of Iman. As for those people who says, if they're going to bring evidence, like for example, a person of the card will enter Jannah without any action, it doesn't mean action is not part of Iman. Allah forgave him. Allah forgave him, and Allah wanted to put him in Jannah. That doesn't mean you can't use the hadith to say man entered Jannah without any action. So that means action is not part of Iman. La, Allah forgave him. That's why. It's not dalil. Allah forgave that person. That's why. طيب, so that's what Iman is, and these are the definition of Iman given by the ulama of the Sunnah. طيب, first, وهو الإيمان بالله. Okay, first, believe in Allah Azza wa Jal. طيب, we covered what Allah mean, and we defined what it means, inshallah. We've explained everything. Now, first of all, when we're going to cover all the 6 pillars of Iman, you will understand, you will learn that each of these pillars has other pillars. Each of these pillars has other pillars. So first of all, Imanu Billah. The first pillar is to believe in Allah Azza wa Jal. And that's the greatest thing, is to believe Allah first. And that's the greatest thing in our faith, in our life, to have Iman in Allah Azza wa Jal. If someone has no Iman in Allah Azza wa Jal, doesn't matter, he can have the whole dunya. It doesn't mean anything. طيب? And if someone has Iman in Allah, worships Allah, recognizes Allah, and he's got nothing in dunya, he's the richest man. So, Iman Billah is the first one. So, first of all, the first pillar of Iman Billah is Iman bi wujudillah. To believe Allah exists. Okay? Now, existence of Allah can be proven with intellect. Okay? And first of all, if you think about it, aqlan, intellectually, if you're clever, we have sanity. If you look around us, the creation cannot become being without a creator. Okay? We cannot become a creation from nothing. A car cannot be created by itself. There must be a creator for that. So from the sign of Allah Azza wa Jal, we recognize that there is a creator behind this creation. And this creation cannot create by himself or by itself without a creator. If you look at the planes and the ships and the cars, there's a creator behind them. There's something, someone must have created it for car to become a being. Now, Allah being, existence of Allah are known through intellect. Even if you don't have anything, but intellectually, we know Allah exists. Okay? That's number one. Also, we know Allah Azza wa Jal exists through the fitrah. The fitrah that Allah has given us. Okay? Because the Prophet said that, Inna kulla mawlud ulida ala al-fitrah, that everyone born upon fitrah. وأبواه ينصرناه ويهودانه يمجسانه, that his parents make them Jews and the Christian and the fire worshippers. طيب? So they're born upon fitrah, and the fitrah is that they recognize Allah Azza wa Jal, the creator behind that. The creator of the heaven and the earth, the Lord of the heaven and the earth. Okay, through the fitrah they know it. And also in the hadith says that, hadith Kursi, in fact, Allah said, Inni khalaqtu ibadi hunafa. I have created my slave hunafa. I mean, they have pure belief in Allah. Allah said, I have created them like that. فَاشْتَلَاتُهُمُ الشَّيْطَانِ. The shaitan misguided them, deceived them. طيب? So, we understand and we believe Allah exists through fitrah and through intellect. Also, we know Allah Azza wa Jal through Sharia of Allah Azza wa Jal. So we said, and also the signs of Allah. We know Allah through the signs and the creations. Okay? وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ اللَّيْلُ وَالنَّهَارُ وَالشَّمْسُ وَالْقَمَرُ لَا تَسْجُدُوا لِلشَّمْسِ وَلَا لِلْقَمَرِ وَاسْجُدُوا لِلَّهِ الَّذِي خَلَقَهُنَّ إِن كُنتُمْ تعبدون. Allah, this ayah, we know this ayah that from the sign of Allah is the night and the day, stars and the moon. Do not worship those creations, these stars and the moon, but worship the one who created them. So from the signs of Allah are the night and the day. We know Allah through the signs, and we meant to look at the signs in the creation. Unfortunately, we've been deprived of that. But the signs, this creation is the biggest sign that Allah exists. Subhanallah. So we know Allah through the ayatul kawniyah. We know Allah from the signs, universal signs. And finally, we know Allah through the ayatul shar'iyah, through the Sharia of Allah Azza wa Jal, the Quran. The Quran itself. The Quran itself is a sign, the existence of Allah Azza wa Jal. Because in the Quran, it talks about what? We know. Signs that nobody knows. Allah talks about creation that nobody knows. So these are the ways we know Allah Azza wa Jal. So first we believe Allah existence, He exists. طيب. Secondly, we believe Tawheed al-Rububiyyah. We believe Allah, the creator of the heaven and the earth. Okay? When we say Allah, we believe the Rububiyyah of Allah, the Lord, Allah being the Lord of the heaven and the earth, is that we believe He's the creator. Now, He's the creator. The many verse in the Quran where He mentions that Allah is the creator of the heaven and the earth. For example, إِنَّ رَبَّكُمُ الَّذِي خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Indeed, your Lord created heaven and the earth. وَاللَّهُ خَالِقُ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ. And Allah is the creator of everything. In many verses. Now, one thing we have to understand, Allah being the creator and human being the creator. What's the difference? Allah creates things from nothing. Allah creates things from nothing. We have been created from nothing. And we became a being. Whereas the human being is a creator, but they create from something which is in front of them. So the chair, the table, the house, the car, whatever. They have to create from something. They cannot create something from non-existence. And that's only Allah can do. That's the difference. So Allah is the creator, the provider, He is the sustainer, He is the owner of the heaven and the earth. So that all encompasses the one who gives life and death. All of this encompasses Allah being the Lord of the heaven and the earth. That's the second. Third, we have to believe about Allah Azza wa Jal, that He is the one who deserves all the worship. After being the Lord, after being the creator of the heaven and the earth, He deserves all the worship with ikhlas, with sincerity. And the fourth one is that's the whole book going to be about, is that we have to believe if Allah deserves all the worship, we have to believe all the names and attributes of Allah, and Allah has the most beautiful names and attributes without any imperfections, inshaAllah. طيب. So this is the four pillars of Imanu Billah. طيب. So that's the pillars. So the ulama says that if someone believes Allah exists but don't believe all other ones, he hasn't believed in Imanu Billah, he hasn't completed. If he believes Allah exists, he believes Allah is the Lord of the heaven and earth, but doesn't believe the other one, he hasn't believed in Allah. Until he believes everything, He exists, His Rububiyyah, His Lordship, His oneness in worship, His names and attributes. Okay? These four things have to be there for someone to be a true mu'min billah azza wa jal, true believers of Allah azza wa jal. He needs to believe the four pillars. Otherwise, he cannot be a true believer. طيب. That's the first pillar of إيمان بالله. والثاني من أركان الإيمان الإيمان بالملائكة. طيب. Now, إيمان بالملائكة, we have to believe in angels. Now, angels are the creation of Allah Azza wa Jal, and they are different from human and jinn. And hadith of Aisha, خُلِقَتِ الْمَلَائِكَةِ مِنَ النُّورِ, that malaika are created from light, whereas we are created from dust, and the jinn were created from the fire. طيب. Now, malaika, they are creation of Allah Azza wa Jal. They are created from nur. They are no Bani Adam. They do not commit sins. They do everything according to Allah command them to do. Okay? And they do not disobey Allah. They don't get married. They don't eat, because Allah created them different. This is how they are. Okay? They are creation. They don't get married. They don't have kids. Okay? These are different creation of Allah Azza wa Jal. They're true believers. They have no sins, because they have given, Allah has given them choice to do good or bad. Okay? Whereas the righteous man, okay, a righteous man who, Qila said that if a righteous man who has choice to disobey Allah and obey Allah, and he obeys Allah, became a righteous man, he's better than the angels. Why? Because number one, Allah commanded the angels to make sajda to Adam, to show the superiority of Bani Adam over Malaika. But righteous man is better than angels, because he fought his nafs and and he abandoned the sin and to obey Allah Azza wa Jal. Okay? If Malaika were given choices like that, they will fall into sin. But they haven't given the choice. Allah could have made us like that as well. But He created human being different. He wants human being different, so they can commit sin, and Allah wants them to go back to Allah Azza wa Jal and recognize Allah to be Al-Ghafoor, a forgiver. So Allah created us different than Malaika. طيب, so Malaika, when it comes to believe in Malaika, scholars have categorized into two categories. Mujmal and Mukhtas, or Ijmaliya or Mukhtas. Ijmaliya is the general belief we have about angels. Okay, for example, the Hadith of Prophet, he said that in Jannah there is a Kaaba, Baytul Ma'mur, where angel comes and they go round, do tawaf. When they come, they go and they never come back again. So we don't know how many there are. We believe those angels, the creation of Allah Azza wa Jal. Okay, that's general belief of the angels, and generally we all believe that. Okay, then we have specific belief, which is that tafsiliya, detail. And the Sheikh says that if someone believes generally all the angels, specifically if someone denies the specific angel, he doesn't know. See, someone says, do you know Israfil? No, who is the Israfil? I don't know. No, I don't believe. I don't. Because he never studied. We're to a detail now by name. He never heard the Malaika. He never studied about this Malaika. But generally say, I believe in Malaika. But who is this? I don't know. You can't make takfir on the person. We never studied about Malaika, Israfil. The books are written by Israfil. Who is this Israfil? By name. He doesn't know. But you tell him, oh, I believe it now. But you can't make takfir on him at the first point when he's, I don't believe, I don't know, you can't. He never heard of it. But generally believes they're Malaika. Tayyib, the difference. Tayyib. So Malaika, we have many Malaika by name. And even scholars in Tafsiliya, in detail, they've given a few pillars. The first pillar is that we have to believe their names. Okay? So Jibril, Mikail, Israfil, Malakul Maut, Munkar wa Nakir, these names, we have to believe them because they're in the Quran and Sunnah. For you to disbelieve these names, it's kufr, major kufr. If someone says, I don't believe the name Jibril, it's kufr. Denying the ayah of the Quran. So we have to believe the names. Okay? We have to believe the names. Secondly, these Malaika, we have to believe their jobs that have been allocated by Allah Azza wa Jal. So Jibril alayhi salam, one of the messenger of Allah, he came to all the Prophet with the books. Okay, so we have to believe he's been allocated with a job. No more, obviously, but he was. He came down with the books. He came down with the Quran to Prophet alayhi salam. That was his only responsibility, nothing else. Okay, coming down with wahy of Allah Azza wa Jal. Okay, nazala bihi ruhul amin. Nazala bihi, the Prophet Jibril alayhi salam came down. Who came down with ruhul amin is Jibril alayhi salam. Came down with that. Okay. Nazala bihi ruhul amin. Yes, Shu'ara 193. So shows that Jibril is the messenger of Allah who came down with the wahy. That's his job. And we have to believe that. If someone says, I believe Jibril, I believe the name, but I doubt his job that Allah been allocated. That's kufr. You deny that Jibril came down with the books. A'udhu billah. You can't deny that. He came down. So that's second one. Also, Malakul Maut. Okay? The one who takes the soul of the people. Okay? People say Azrael. Shaykh al-Islam mentioned. Actually, Azrael is not mentioned in the Quran and the Sunnah. Azrael. Okay, sounds scary, isn't it? But Shaykh al-Islam mentioned in Majmul Fatawa, Shaykh brings here, is that Shaykh al-Islam says, الذي عليه أكثر الناس أن جميع الخلق يموتون حتى ملائكة وحتى عزرائيل ملك الموت. So Shaykh al-Islam says that everything will perish, will die. Even the malaika will die. Even Azrael, Malakul Maut. So Shaykh al-Islam used the word Azrael in his Majmul Fatawa. But there's nothing thabit, there's nothing established in the Quran and Sunnah that name. But what Allah named is Malakul Maut. Okay? That's in the Quran. Allah mentioned Malakul Maut in the Quran. So the name of Azrael is Malakul Maut, the one who takes the soul of the believers or the human being. Tayyib. So you have Israfil. He's responsible for the trumpet, blowing the trumpet. Mikail, the Malaika. Okay, he's responsible for what? For the rain and things like the plantations. That's his job that Allah has allocated him to do. That's his job. Munkar and Nakir, it's been described in the hadith. That's very not happy looking. Munkar and Nakir, those who ask you ask question in the grave. It's not happy looking. Munkar and Nakir. And munkar is detestable. When you look at it, you get scared. That's what munkar means. That's his name, Munkar and Nakir. They're scary. And their job is to ask the 3 questions and to punish the people by the will of Allah. That's Munkar and Nakir. Okay? Allah Azza wa Jal allocated malaika in the womb of the mother to look after the baby. Allah has allocated malaika for the cloud, for the mountain, to write the good and the deeds you do, good and bad. Okay? So malaika are there. Allah has allocated them. And they just do their jobs, which Allah commanded them to do. So when it comes to malaika, we believe these names, and we believe these jobs they've been allocated by Allah Azza wa Jal, and they do not fail to do. Whereas human being, we've been allocated to worship Allah, we fail, but malaika don't fail to do that. They don't fail to do that. That's second. Thirdly, we have to believe the descriptions. We have to believe the description. Now, it has been described in the hadith, Jibreel alayhi salam. Jibreel, Prophet saw him twice, Jibreel, in dunya and in Jannah. He saw him in Isra wal Miraj. He saw him in truth, in the real form. When we study the most beautiful creations Allah ever created, some say Jibreel. Some say Hurul Ain, Jannah, Hurul Ain, Jannah. Some said Yusuf alayhi salam. So the Malaika, generally all the Malaika, they're very handsome. And Jibreel alayhi salam is very good looking. And Allah created him beautiful. And Prophet saw him in real form, 600 wings. When he came down with the wahi. And when he came down, Prophet came out from the cave, fearful. And he saw Jibreel covered the horizon, 600 wings. And he saw him in Jannah, in real form, Jibreel alayhi salam. Tayyib. So we have to believe that descriptions. If you don't believe that descriptions, then it is a kufr, because this has been described in the hadith. We have to believe it. Jibreel alayhi salam. Okay, and whatever the angel has been described, we have to believe that. The description. And fourthly, we have to believe everything been said by Allah and the Messenger by the Malaika. We have to believe them. We cannot deny their existence. طيب. So here we learn, my brothers, the belief in Allah, 4 pillars, believe in the Malaika, general and specific, we have to believe, and also believe specifically is those Malaika named, Allah mentioned by names. You cannot deny the existence. طيب. The next one is Rukn al-Thalith, which Iman bil Kutub. Okay? So the books, again, believe in the books. We have to believe the ulama said the general belief, the specific belief on the books as well. Generally, we believe all the books that Allah Azza wa Jal sent down to the prophets. We have to believe all the books. And the specific ones we have to believe is that we have to believe the books that have been revealed to the prophets, like Quran was revealed to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We have to believe Torah was to Musa, Injil to Isa, and Zabur to Dawood alayhi salam. These are mentioned by names. We have to believe those books. But obviously the books that were sent by Allah, the Quran, the last book was sent and abrogate all other books. طيب. Also, when it comes to believing the books, the first thing we have to do, believe the names of the books, because they're in the Quran by name. And to deny those names and denying the ayah of the Quran, we have to believe the books were revealed to the Prophet. We have to believe it. So if, for example, we have to believe Torah was given to Musa alayhi salam. If someone says, no, I doubt if Torah was to Musa or not, that's kufr. Torah was revealed to Musa alayhi salam, Injil to Isa alayhi salam. We have to believe that. And Quran to Muhammad alayhi salam. We cannot deny that. We have to believe. Thirdly, we have to believe in Quran books is that we have to believe they are guidance for the mankind. Okay, Quran is a guidance for the mankind. Torah was the guidance for the people of the Musa alayhi salam, and Injil was the guidance for the people of Isa alayhi salam. Quran is guidance for us, and we practice the Quran, read and practice them, inshallah. We have to believe, follow it. We have to believe, and everything that's in the Quran, we have to believe it as well. Tasdeeq. So Quran speaks about Qasasul Anbiya, life of the prophets. We have to believe those akhbar. We cannot deny it. We cannot deny the life of Yusuf alayhi salam, Musa alayhi salam, what happened with Bani Israel. We have to believe it. The Quran narrates to us these things. Okay? Tasdiq fima akhbara. Okay? Al-Quran, whatever Quran speaks to us about the life of the Prophet, we have to believe it. And the ahkam of the Sharia in the Quran, we have to believe the akhbar, the khabar, the news that gives us. Okay? So this is the book. So we have to believe the names. We have to follow the Quran, the books. We have to believe all the akhbar told us by the books. We have to believe them, the news, everything. We have to believe, and we have to practice them. We have to practice these books, Quran in us, in our case. طيب. So my brother, we covered. We got three more left. We'll do that next week, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. Let me just take the Q&A now. Any question, clarification, inshallah.
You know, for the fifth tafsir of Jama'ah, it's a group of Muslims.
That's a group of Muslims, Usbatul Muslim, group of Muslims. The Sheikh said they don't know evidence for that. These fifth types of Jama'ah we mentioned.
Is Harut and Marut part of the belief of...
Harut wa Marut. Yeah, that's a good one. Harut wa Marut were the Malaika. Two Malaika were sent by Allah Azza wa Jal to Bani Israel as a trial for them. And they came and they told the people sihr as a trial for them. And he says, إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ فِتْنَةٌ فَلَا تَكْفُرْ. We are just a fitna, we don't believe it. Okay? So Harut wa Marut came down and they read magic to these people. And they believed it, but this weird trial, they were just teaching the people. Allah send them as a test for the people. That's what is in the Quran. They're Malaika, we believe them, yeah. Bibal, yeah, Iraq, somewhere, yeah.
Do you also believe that all the other prophets that are not mentioned, like to have received books, they receive scriptures?
Yeah, there's scriptures that we don't know, we believe them. Allah said in the Quran, in the Quran, Surah An-Nisa, He said that indeed we have narrated some story of the Prophet to you, and some we never narrated to you. So their prophets, we don't know. Allah never narrated to us.
You know, he said there's Amn Mutlaq. Amn Mutlaq. The Amn Mutlaq.
Amn Mutlaq, yeah.
What's the other?
Mutlaq al-Amn. We'll cover this more. Iman al-Mutlaq, Mutlaq al-Iman, Kufr al-Mutlaq, Mutlaq al-Kufr. We're going to cover this inshallah. Amn Mutlaq, absolute security, which is the believers will have absolute security and they will enter Jannah without any hisab, without any judgment. And Mutlaq al-Amn, which is a partial security, meaning that some of the Muslims will be in the hellfire, they will burn, and Allah will take them out from the hellfire, put them in Jannah. Okay? Because I said, as for those who believe and they do not mix their shirk with Iman, they will have Amn. But these are people of Tawheed, people of oneness of Allah, who worships Allah, but they fell into some of the major sins. They did not make Tawbah, but they're still Muslim. Allah might punish them to purify them. So then they will be taken out. So the partial security they will have. Okay, not 100%. But once they enter Jannah, khalas, they're not going to come out.
So, Ustadh, you mentioned about the name Israel, that the Sheikh was...
Azrael.
So the Sheikh mentioned it. So, for example, I heard something that we should not deny or affirm from the people of the book when we narrate stories from them. Because that name was mentioned in the people of the book. Then, and I think that's where the Sheikh got it from. So there's a hadith to the nearest meaning. I'm not sure how it goes, but is it true that we neither affirm or deny?
Yeah.
So can we say that is not his name?
No, this name is not in the Quran and Sunnah. It could be from Bani Israel, but Quran and Sunnah never affirmed this name. Allah named قل ملك الموت. Okay, say the Malakul Maut who takes your soul. So Malakul Maut is name given by Allah to the Malaika, but Azrael is not. You not find in the Quran Sunnah. It's never established there. Ibn Taymiyyah used it, maybe Bani Israel, Allah Alam, but it's not a hujjah for us because if you can't affirm, nor can you negate. You're in the middle. We don't know what to do. So it's not in the Quran Sunnah. The name is not in the Quran Sunnah. No.
So you don't deny or affirm, but we narrate stories from them. Can we apply the same principle with the weak hadith? Can we? So those who reject weak hadith completely and they skip it and they don't read it or give meaning, or they don't even read the hadith or say this is a weak hadith. They don't clarify. They just reject it completely. Is that correct? Because with the people of the book, you have to be careful. You don't deny or affirm. So do you apply the same principle on the weak hadith, or it's okay to completely reject it?
No, but the weak hadith, sometimes you can have weak hadith according to some scholars, but sometimes you can have this weak hadith according to some scholars is Hasan, you know. So, for example, when it comes to hadith, weakness of hadith, if it has a da'if, according to some scholars might be weak, according to some scholars might be sahih. Okay, let me give you an example. Like in the hadith, he said that niyatul mu'min khayrun min amalihi. That intention of a believer is better than his actions. The hadith is weak. Okay, but some scholar makes it hasan because this hadith been narrated by 4 or 5 sahabas. So they say supporting evidence to say make it hasan. For example, every action does not start with basmala is deficiency in the barakah of Allah Azza wa Jalla. The hadith is weak. Some make the ulama mentioned the Shaykh Ibn Taymiyyah, Shaykh Fawzan, they mentioned this hadith, but it's hadith weak. So situation like that, you take the hadith. If you believe it's sahih, you follow it. If you feel weak, you don't follow it. So if you muhaddith, like Shaykh Al-Albani, he's specialized in the hadith. If he makes it weak, khalas, we take his view more than any other one. طيب? So you get hadith like that. But as for story of the Bani Israel, generally, I mean, the many narrations are, but we don't accept it. You can, stories of Bani Israel, generally we don't accept it, nor can reject it. But hadith is different. Hadith is different, akhi. Yeah.
The issue about how we say Allah creates from nothing. Do we not believe that this creation, it came from like a previous creation? Like, you know how Ibn Taymiyyah said that one of Allah's names is Al-Khalaq, meaning that he's constantly creating and destroying. I don't know the phrase, but Ibn Taymiyyah said like it's Al-Hawadith la awwala laha or something. Like the Allah is constantly always creating and destroying. So like this universe, it came from a previous creation.
No, but then every creation has a beginning, isn't it?
Yeah.
Came from something.
No, but like the doubts that the atheists bring, like they say, oh, what did Allah do before making the universe and stuff?
This is, and with his knowledge of answer, we don't know.
Yeah.
But he's ever living. But the thing is that even Allah creates and destroys. Whatever He created, it has no beginning, is it? It has a beginning, isn't it? And it has an end. Because if you don't believe that, other will give attributes of Allah to the creation. Every creation has a beginning. Okay? And it has an end. This is sifat of the creation, attribute of the creations. So any beginning, any creations that created by Allah has a beginning. Only Allah has no beginning. Understand? So we have to believe that. So
is it more accurate to say the universe came from nothing or came from something before?
Came from nothing. There was a time the universe never existed. We can't say universe had no beginning. It always existed. La, it's only for Allah. Allah always existed. If universe, Allah doesn't need the universe, but universe Allah created it when we don't know. But it has a beginning. Because Allah is the awwal wal akhir wal zahir wal batin. Nobody else. And this named only for Allah. So universe was created by Allah. There was a time when universe never existed. We don't know when He created, but He did. We have to believe that. It's clear. Yeah. Okay, Ikhwa?
Earlier, I heard you mention the hadith in regarding to staying with the Jaman. You said that this was for the time and in the early stages. A lot of brothers, they come across to use that hadith in regards to saying that you've got to enjoy the a larger collection of Muslims, especially with a lot of stuff that's happening around the world. So I just want a clarification about that hadith about enjoying the staying with the Jama'ah.
Jama, when we say Jama, is we referring Jama is the Haqq. Unify upon the Haqq. Alhamdulillah. We cannot unify upon sins and transgressions. And Allah said, وَتَعَوْنَ عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى وَلَا تَعَوْنَ عَلَى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ. And cooperate upon righteousness and goodness, but do not cooperate in sins and oppressions. That's what it is. We have to cooperate, unite upon khair, upon goodness, inshallah. That's what it is. Yeah, unification. جزاكم الله خير. Assalamu alaikum.